What's going on, ladies and gentlefish? This is the Croc to bring you a red, blue, yellow TGBDual Wi-Fi battle versus the boss to beat. Now I'm going to be on the opposite side because I actually lost the footage. He's going to be leading with a sleep pattern, be leading with a thunder wave. I know that EXEGGUTOR is slow by default, but I just want to get something paralyzed. It really doesn't matter what, as I set up an amnesia and he just decides to put me to sleep. Now I'm going to be switching out into April. And because he's paralyzed, I know he's not going to want to take this Blizzard at all, even though he is going to go for that Mega Drain. It's not going to do too much because, again, of the max dynamic value bulk in first gen. Just going to go for another Blizzard, as I am going to switch him out into his Lapras. Now, Lapras is kind of a pretty decently offensive threat for April May, so I'm going to be switching out into Miss Basil, who really doesn't take Body Slam all that well either. Little does my opponent know I am carrying the wonderful and amazing counter attack. And here it goes, counter going all the way to 0. Going to get a crit on the counter, and I'm going to be taking this Lapras down. Now that's going to be forcing his mad Red Bull, raging crazy red target bull TAUROS into the playing field. And TAUROS is not playing any games. It's a big physical threat and probably the scariest thing in existence, as I'm just going to switch out into Darien Crescent. Now, Darien Crescent can't be taking them Blizzards. TAUROS actually does enough damage with his special in the first generation, considering how low it actually is, although it being one stat does help that a little bit. So it's going to switch out into ZAPDOS, and I'm just going to go for the Acid Armor. I know very well I can't stay in here to take a Thunderbolt, even though a Blizzard probably would do quite a bit of significant damage. Just going to be switching out into Yana Yogi, knowing I can take everything from ZAPDOS, and he's probably going to want to switch into this SNORLAX. Now, I know that's probably going to happen, so I'm going to switch out into my Von Karma, and I know the Earthquake's probably coming, so I'm just going to go ahead and boom on this SNORLAX, and as you see with the max dynamic values, he's going to take it at half health and bring me into April May. Now, the thing with April May, I know he's going to go back out into the ZAPDOS, so I'm just going to go for a Blizzard as he's going to switch the ZAPDOS back in. And you see it's not taking any of that. Going to get that awesome freeze hacks, as April May does me really, really proud right there. And that's going to work out really nice because I'm going to switch back out into Miss Basil, and because he is frozen solid, I know for the fact no matter whatever he wants to switch into, I'm going to be able to get a healing move off on the switch, which I am going to go for the soft boiled here. The screen's going to go all pink and extra feministic, and we're going to come back to this. Now, I know Body Slam is not something I'm going to want to be taking, but I know from that range I can take it pretty well and be able to go for a counter if I need to. But I'm just going to switch back out into Gumshoe, my physical wall, as he gets a crit on the Body Slam. I'm not really sure what I was thinking. I don't know if I just wanted to sack Slowbro at this point, or if I just, I don't know, I guess I had nothing better to fight this thing, or I don't know. So I'm going to sack Slowbro off, go back out into April May. And I actually have the Acid Armor, so I'm really not scared of this thing. If it wants to blow up on me, it can do that. If he wants to go to ZAPDOS, he can do that. I can hit things on the switch with Blizzard. I'm really not too concerned in the slightest. I know he's probably going to want to self-destruct if he's carrying it because it's the highest stab move. I'm just going to go for the Acid Armor. I'm going to take it very nicely right at the yellow mark, as he's going to be switching in this EXEGGUTOR. Now, gauging from the amount of damage, originally I know I'll take one Mega Drain bar crit, so I'm going to go for the Blizzard and bring it down to 64. And I'm going to be taking that Mega Drain sitting right at the red. Now I know it's not going to want to take another Blizzard, so it's going to be forcing his switch here. He probably, at this point, is probably thinking about sacking his ZAPDOS. He might be able to get a free switch, especially into that TAUROS that's still looming around back there. What he decides to do, going into that ZAPDOS, going to just sack it off to the Blizzard. And that works out perfect, but I'm actually going to be bringing him down to 28, and that's going to enable me to get off a rest. Being at that +2 defense is going to be just extra awesome, especially if he's still got physical attackers like this TAUROS. Now, unfortunately, since I am sleeping, I'm going to try to burn these sleep turns. Or I thought about it, but I actually swapped directly out into Yana Yogi again. And again, you see, I'm not taking the Blizzard, but I'm also not going to be getting the paralysis on that Body Slam that I really need to deal with this TAUROS. And he's just going to go straight away for the Earthquake. And because I am actually more defensive than specially defensive, I'm actually going to take the Earthquake with low enough HP to get off a Body Slam, and TAUROS is going to be down to the 156. Now, on this particular turn, I'm kind of hating that I rested, because with the Acid Armor up, I think I could have taken this thing down. And I just decide here, I actually forget what move I decided to go for. I actually decided to switch out into April May. I want to burn a sleep turn if he's going to be pulling off these kind of shenanigans, because I know getting to sleep is going to be a very important thing at this particular turn. So I'm actually just going to take the explosion here. I'm going to go down to Dark Red, and I'm going to be going for nothing. It's going to enable him to bring out his Tauros and go for the Hyper Beam, and because of red, blue, yellow mechanics, since he kills something with Hyper Beam, he does not have to recharge. And this is a very scary thing for Miss Basil, because she's got to be able to deal with these threats. And Miss Basil's just going to go for the counter, and because counter works backwards, it's going to be able to deal the residual damage, and he was not going to want to stick around for that. So I'm going to go for the Soft Boiled and just see if I can take an explosion at full health. And I do not. So that's going to end up being the game, a one-all game, a very old red, blue, and yellow OU team that I had lying around. And this was an old game that originally I found lying around, and I decided to re-commentate it. I took it down at some point, so I decided to re-commentate it and put it up for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the battle. I did download Alpha Side because, like I said, I have lost the footage. I was just going through, reminiscing through old thumbnails and remembering this battle. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, peace out, objection, and find the computer room, and peace!